Listen, this time I'm actually out, y'all. I gotta get back on the West Coast and play with my toys. Now I got Rolls Royce toys, Lamborghini. Let's go, mama. We out here. Where we traveling to now? We gotta travel. This is what we do. I'm with the road team. What's up? Got my man E with me. Sock my saying every day. Come on, speak that Creole. Come on in, man.
All the people Polite follows about what happened to me. King Lo, I don't even want to say that, but I DM'd all of them. Floyd, all of them. I DM'd all of them. I'm saying I DM'd Sarnetta, I DM'd Supernova, I DM'd everybody that Polite follows and tell them, yo, this is what Polite did to me. No response. Only person responding King Lowe's. Not to put you out there, bro, but that's why I appreciate that. The only person to respond, he didn't really respond, but he was just like, what happened, bro? You know, me and King Lowe's didn't really have that conversation. Like, I saw him in the studio, I was like, what's up? He barely talked to me, I didn't, you know, but he was like, oh, you're a farmer? Like, in the studio, I was like, that's dope. And you know, that's all he said.
I can talk about the fact that you're a con artist. I can talk about the fact that people pay you money so you can change their status and get them sovereignty and they never get what they pay for. Con number one. I can talk about the fact that you claim to have all these commercial real estate investments and big properties that nobody ever saw, and some people prove to be fraudulent. Con game number two. Okay. I can talk about the fact you claim to have all these businesses and empires and multinational corporations, and you can give people property with no money down. That never happens. Con game number three. I could talk about your intellectual property theft, when you've written over 120 books, but there's no references in the books. And on top of that, you look in the books, you can clearly see that this is cut and paste work from the internet, which is why you never copyrighted almost none of your books, because it's not your information. You're stealing it from other people.
I just don't want to say it. I ain't got to make it no long announcement and all that. I just want to tell people, man, to stay away from that cat, man, Polite, because the cat is a fraud. You know what I'm saying? Cat had a property auction. You know what I mean? And I bought so-called piece of land from the cat. Gave my $4,300, and he just get down. I've been trying to get at him. He texted me like one time, said he could meet him, and he never was there. And basically, he gave me the runaround, and I know mad people do the same thing too. You know what I'm saying? The whole time I'm thinking the dude is right back, but I should have known.
No such thing as sovereignty paperwork. A lot of people are wasting money. A lot of people are getting hurt. A lot of people are thinking they're in organizations that have their back, and they have this paperwork, and they're taking certain legal stances, and when they go to the courtroom, they find out they by themselves. When they get to the police station, they find out they by themselves.
As y'all may know, I may be in contact with a few people from around that circle, but I have nothing to do with the actions of other people. All I can do is speak from my personal experience. I know, personally, me originally went that same route, and I don't want anybody to take what I'm saying and say, don't take what I'm saying, personalize it, and use what I'm finna say to go further your personal beef or your personal agenda that you may have with anything in contrary to what I'm finna say. I'm only speaking from personal experience, not egotistical hatred or agenda, but just so people who's writing me this can understand that this is where I'm coming from and why I went the route I went and why I'm giving you this route. In October, I did go through that route, through the New Covenant route, to pay for my status correction. Skipping a long story short, skipping a long drawn out story, it did not, my status is not corrected through New Covenant, and it did not get corrected through New Covenant. So now, for whatever reason, why people maybe, because we all understand what's going through the air. Maybe whether people saying Polite is a scam artist, whether they saying he doesn't have enough staff. I'm not here to chew on that or put that out there. All I will speak upon is what is factually happened, which is I did go that route initially, family, and I did suggest that y'all go that route as well, but that is the end result I ended up getting, which is my status did not get corrected.
Because I just got done watching Young Pharaoh's video about how Bro.Polight had addressed him. The same video where he also addressed me, Bro.Polight. And so I wanted to put it out there because I also watched another video about a woman being ripped off by Bro.Polight she said either 4 or 5 years ago, but she swept it under the rug because she couldn't she couldn't believe that she was so much in shock that Bro.Polight scammed her that she couldn't even believe it. And she was also a New Covenant member. So I wanted to do another video addressing Bro.Polight, and this is the last video that I'm going to do about New Covenant or Bro.Polight. But I want to say this, and anybody can take this video and do whatever they want to do with it. For anybody who's a New Covenant member, I want to encourage you guys to tell your story any way you can. Either you want to go to No Mercy for Scammers, if you want to email Allah, or if you want to go to In the Black Media. You may want to tell your story, because hadn't someone told me, or hadn't these videos would have been out 3 years ago when I first heard about Polight, I would have never fucking joined New Covenant. And I would have never ordered any books online. I would have never done that. And this is why people need to come forward who went through New Covenant and got the services or paid for the services and never got them. Please come forward, because this is some bullshit. It's some bullshit. And
this Bro.Polight crap is a scam. So I take the day trading course because I be trading stocks already. I'm already day trading, already making money and losing money doing day trading, right? And so I take this course to see what else is out there, right? First of all, do course takes a month to start, right? It's $100. Ain't no big deal. But first week, like even the platforms they're using bullshit, right? Like the trading platforms. And I ain't gonna go into it, right? They're using Webull and Robinhood. Like, yeah, fuck it. Damn. I'm gonna edit that out. And dude, I'm sorry. Dude is like, with first week, dude talk about some basic stuff, how you gonna get you to the money ASAP, right? But then you ain't getting to the money. Then when you roll around, dude ain't even got the course. So now we 5 weeks into this thing, right? Dude holding on to my $100 for 5 weeks, right? I ain't learned shit, right? So I tell the dude, give my money back. Some dude named BJ called me up, right? And he's super insecure and stuff. And BJ, like, my phone died. That's why I'm about to charge it. BJ calls me back talking about some, we got a no refund guarantee. Is there any reason why you're dissatisfied with the course? I'm like, there's no course to be taken.
Myself with other people who I believe are advocates for our people. And that's how I came to meet Bro.Polight. Here's the problem. Shortly after meeting him, I started getting messages from a number of people. The people's attorney, yes, I like to think that of myself. I started getting messages from people about having sent Bro.Polight money, or having requested books or things like that. And they hadn't either received the money, or he hadn't been able to be reached after they sent him money, or they hadn't received the items or whatnot that they had purchased. And I had a relationship with Polight. I like to think that I still do. And so this one brother in particular, and I'm going to have him come on the show. I'm gonna bring him in. It's not gonna be today because I gotta run to school. But I'm gonna have him come on to the show, and we're gonna show you the receipts. This young man, early 20s, had received some money through an inheritance and believed in the snake oil bullshit that Bro.Polight has been selling. He sent this young man, with a child on the way, sent Bro.Polight $70,000. I said $70,000. $70,000. I gotta say that shit a couple more times.
I got like 12. These are just directly. It's another one for $3,200. Let me see. There, Bro.Polight. So that's outside, and I'm gonna just show you. Look how many of those. Bro.Polight. All those Bro.Polight. So it's for real. It's for real. And then everything I couldn't send through this, you saw the Western Union's receipts, Walmart to Walmart, MoneyGrams. Then I got the Cash App receipts. Let me pull them up real quick. Give me a second. I got Cash Apps, and then I got the Apple Pays. All right, here we go. Okay, Jessica Casey. Those are all right. Gail. I don't know who Gail is. He sent me money to Gail. Nina, Jessica Casey. You see all those? You see that? You see Nina's picture? It's for real. See Jessica Casey with Bro.Polight?
That's a half a meal. And that's only from 40 people that we counted. This nigga at least got 300 to 500 motherfuckers he spent. So Polight done ran off with $1 million from the community.
Receipts. Just these alone, this one right here, I mean, literally, just Western Union. Show them the Western Union. I'm not even the names. Western Union. All just endless amounts of receipts. I didn't even want to pull them out because it's windy up here. So I got bags and bags of everything I spent with Polight. And you know what I'm saying? I don't got time to show the names. I don't got time to show the amounts or the dates. It's all right here. Like, it's all right here. Western Union. You know what I'm saying? All there. Facts. And Polight's got all the texts because I sent this money.
I said before, I'm pissed off because I got scammed. I'm more so about the principle. Don't get it fucked up. It is about the bread too. But it's more so for me about the principle. You feel me? I'm a hard-working brother, man. I work, I drive, man. I'm a hard-working brother, man. You know what I'm saying? $4,500 don't fall off trees. If they do, hit me up in the inbox and let me know. I want some of that $4,500 that fall off the trees, you know? I want to pick up some of that when they fall off. When it's 4,500 season, like mango season. When it's 4,500 season, let me know where that tree at, so I go get me some 4,500s. You feel me? I heard they fall in packages. God damn it. But anyway, so this how the old deal went, man. I reached out to Bro.Polight. I emailed them, no response. And this was a few months ago, before he contacted me. A few months prior to when he actually contacted me, I sent him the emails. He never responds. So I'm like, okay, because he offered his mentorship program. Yeah. He offered his mentorship program, and I think the email is brotherpolight45@gmail.com, some shit. He got another one, New Covenant, all Gmail, New Covenant something. Then he got another one, Michael Note. He got a few different emails, bro, where he's sending off this information at.
Rising. I'm ready to make my first payment for the mentorship program. Next week I get paid and should have the last portion. How do we get this started? He calls me right away. So this is like his pattern. I sent him a text. He's like, but send your 500, your first portion, so we can at least get the ball rolling. That was his words. So I'm like, cool. So I was like, after work, I'm gonna go ahead and send you the money when I get home that night. So I'm like, okay, so how does the mentorship program work again? Like, what exactly should I be expecting? Like, am I gonna get, my money flipped and given back to me within a certain amount of time? Like, I'm just trying to figure out. So he says the same spiel that he gave me the first time we spoke about it. And he's just like, basically within 30 to 60 days, you should have a return on your money for the streams of income. You're gonna have a trust fund, you're gonna have an insurance, something about some insurance, and I don't remember. But I'm like, all right, cool. I still barely got it, but I'm like, all right, I'll let you know when I send the money. Please, y'all, don't come at me. I know. I know. But I am trusting.
People wanted to pay him for his mentorship, where he supposedly chose to show you different streams of income. But once you pay Polight, he disappears on you. Now, Brother Craig Stevens, I like the brother, and I genuinely check out people before I talk to them, before I believe in them. I do my due diligence and research, okay? And Craig is a good brother. He did not know Polight as long as I did and as long as others did. He just met Polight recently, and he got scammed in February, and this has been continuing on to now, which is only like 4 or 5 months ago. So, Brother Craig, how did you give Polight to help you out, and what did he promise you?
I gave Polight $4,000. He promised me 45 days of mentorship. He promised me in the 45 days of the mentorship program that I will also learn three different incomes in the program. I will learn mental health in the program, a diet in the program. But ever since I sent him the money, I never heard from him.
This is immediately what I did. I said, good morning, Polight. I still have not heard anything from anyone. I don't know what's going on your end, but the lack of correspondence is not sitting well with me after I have sent you my savings. At this point, I am requesting a refund. Please let me know when my funds have been returned to me. Thank you. And I put my Cash App name, and I said I've sent a request. That was at 7:54. At 10:28 hours later, he says, peace. And then he puts all these messages in separate, whatever you want to call it. He's like, one from some email, 3 emails were sent on my behalf to no availability, 2 from Ra'et, which is one of his wives or girlfriends or whatever, 1 from another traveling. Please check your spam folder or media folder. Sorry for the inconvenience. At this point, I'm just like, I really don't care to do any further business with you because the feelings that I'm getting and the lack of communication is really stressing me out. So I'm just like, I don't even care about none of that. But I just went to check just to see if he was telling the truth. I went and checked all messages, all folders, 2 or 3 times. Nothing there. I said, I have no emails from those addresses. He says, please check your media or spam. I said, I checked twice. He said, please forward your email in full name. So at that point, I'm like, how you asking for my email if you said you just sent me an email? How you asking for my full name? If, like, the full name we're going to get to in a minute. But the email, how you asking for my email if you just said you sent me an email? Like, the email that he read from me was back in December. Right now in February, when we're going through these messages. And so I'm like, he didn't have my email from December posted nowhere. He didn't have my email. That's the information he would have had to get. Like, okay, I'm sure he gets many emails a day. That right there was like, what?
I seen it again on that video, how to make 6 figures up. And so I seen that video, then it said something about this Facebook. So I went on my Facebook Messenger, and I sent him a message. All he requests is your information, first, last name, phone number to get in contact with you. Sent him that. He hit me like a day or 2 later. So he hit me, I'm like, oh, okay, damn, bro, you know, he hit me out polite. Cause you know what, I don't know the dude. I only go by what I see on the net. And from what I see on the net, he's a pretty intelligent brother. Has a lot of knowledge, a lot of insight. You understand? So I'm figuring like, hey, he offer a mentorship program. This brother knows a lot.
I share my personal experience on an attempted mentorship program with Bro.Polight. I paid $3,500. I didn't get a single thing, and I want to warn other people that could possibly run into the same thing. Yeah. So,
in Huntsville, Alabama, has a warrant out for his arrest. Now, yes, I filed a police report in February, at the end of February. I gave him some time to basically give him my money back like he was supposed to do. When he didn't complete the agreement that he said he was supposed to do anyway, it's not neither here or there. You got a warrant out for your arrest. Theft by deception, felony in the first degree, in Alabama. It ain't like I trumped the man up on federal charges or no shit like that. But your ass got a warrant, and anybody that wanna look you up in Alabama for a warrant will be able to look you up under Michael Nowak, because that's the name that the investigator found. They traced the phone, that number that I gave him from the last video. They traced that and found it to him. They sent me a screenshot of his mugshot asking me was that him. And the judge signed the warrant, yeah. So for people from the previous videos who were saying, calling me an idiot, saying I didn't have a contract and things of this nature, well, because of the way I worded my messages, being that I said, hey, so-and-so, conscious mentorship program, so-and-so, 3,500, so-and-so, it turns out that is a very legal binding contract, especially when you accept and they trace the phone number to you and so forth. So either way, there wouldn't be a warrant for his name, and obviously.
Now, let's see where I remember the time when he did talk about he was getting all of these houses, this land, and he was gonna start asking for people to move into and like to purchase and like invest in. And I remember him saying to me at one point, he was like, "Oh, he's like, you got 3 jobs?" Like, nigga, no, you see my life. At the time, I was living like a small one bedroom apartment, and he's like, he's like, oh, it sucks, you should be blah blah. I was like, I ain't got it. I was like, plus, I have already become aware of a lot of different types of mortgage fraud, and I think that's why he didn't push it to me. So I had kind of like backed up from that space, and he just never bothered with me after that.
I became a member simply by seeing the YouTube videos, hearing the podcast about the information that was being spread. And for me, I have real estate experience, right? So essentially what Bro.Polight was talking about was tax liens and tax deeds. Tax liens being a person can't pay their property taxes. You step in, you pay the property taxes for that particular property, and as a result, you get a certain percentage depending on which state the property is actually in. And a tax deed meaning they've already lost the property from failure to pay taxes, and you actually purchased the property for the taxes owed. Okay? So that's just a brief history of the difference between the two. So he was basically called me up. Oh, I'm your caseworker. Hey, you ready to get your status correction started? It'd be $550, and this is going to complement your ability to purchase more real estate at a discounted rate. Cool, no problem. Send it over. Had a couple of back and forth with him as far as the process is concerned with status correction. That didn't, last too long. After my $550 was in his hands, then we went, like I said, a couple of emails back and forth. Oh, you need to fill out this, you need to fill out that, and hey, if you ever need me, you can contact me. Along the way, I did need him. I did need to contact him. And text messages came back, oh, I'm busy, excuse after excuse after excuse.
Wow.
So, long story short, my status never got corrected in regards to what they're saying. Okay?
Show you how to catch a con man right now.
There's a short condition to it. Found it in the book. Of course, your caseworkers will help you out. The people that are trained to be able to help you out, so I can multiply myself further too.
So he said, you know, he pretty much said he only take the winners, right? That's my property that he's using that information. And I could show you that's my property. You know, I keep the records, right? Now, this first document is document showing this is my deed, right? First National Bank of Texas, DBA, First Community Mortgage, my name, yeah. Texas, yeah. Single family, yeah. And this is my deed of trust or whatnot. This is my deed of trust. Now, this is the warranty deed with the banks or whatnot on the county record. First National Bank of Texas, DBA, First Community Mortgage. Yeah. I'm telling you, Polight been doing this for a minute. And then, if you know about mortgages and foreclosure, assignment of mortgage, yeah, that's pretty much when, you know, they transfer the mortgage to someone else or transfer the property to someone else, title, from MERS. Yeah, this property was end up sold in a foreclosure sale back in December 2012, right? So how the property being sold in December 2012, but you do a video in sometime in May or whatnot talking about it was a winner. How you won and the property was sold? I lost that property and I paid you money to you know, help out on that property, and you gave me the runaround for months, and then I was supposed to get my money back after the Senate debate. That didn't happen. But now you make videos, you know, showing people this, showing people that, when you're not performing, and you haven't been performing since the get-go. But you've been collecting that money, collecting that.
But I left New Covenant the same way I left the ISIS community. I was a lawmaster in the ISIS community. That's Ali Muhammad's community, or was before that went under, or whatever the status of that is right now. But as a lawmaster, I ran into problems, and then I began to be crucified in that organization because I didn't want to take part in what I saw as fraud. And when I began to see the exact same behavior in the New Covenant, I had to walk away again.
Little flashy lifestyle is all a facade. Now, on top of that, the most critical points here that she's made is she's attempted to do 2 speaking engagements with this man to where she was not paid for not an engagement. And so now, we'll be getting ready to come back to, because we skipped a part, is she was getting ready to explain how, if I'm saying this correctly, Polight used her email to pursue one of his scams involving real estate, and she thought that, the person contacted her believing that her and Polight were together and that Miss Wright should be the source, that she should seek out the refund for her money. And so Polight used Mrs. Wright's email without her consent, without her permission, without her cognitive acknowledgement in order to do a scam. And so before we back...
Making this video to show how Polight scam. It's pretty messed up that he scammed me. I thought we was cool or whatever. For me, not cool, but I thought he was a brother I could look up to and shit. But you know how that shit go, I guess that dog were everywhere, But whatever, I'm gonna get into this though. He did. They gotta stay in the street for this shit. Just fucking. But nah, I'm about to show you the emails and shit. Polight scamming me. Alright. I'll make a video. It was cool, I was fucking with the guy at first, he did.
The
genius of Bro.Polight. So recently I got scammed by this dude named Bro.Polight. You know, out of like a petty 200, 250. I mean, it don't even matter. I've been scammed in the past before out of significantly more money. I'm not even mad about it. I'm just mad about the fact that of kind of just that it even happened, and you wouldn't expect it.
With my family court system, and in that time frame, I had watched a couple of videos from Bro.Polight, and was amazed by how he can articulate his words, and he looked like a successful individual, you know what I'm saying? I think I just was infatuated with his ability to speak and, you know, the appearance of success that looked like dwelled in his life. So I had trusted him to help me, or what I thought he would have been able to do is help me navigate the court system and, you know, fighting for my rights for my daughter at the time, who I was going to court with her mother. And in the midst of that, I had watched a video that he had did on YouTube, and the way he constructed everything, it really convinced me that, you know, the system that he had was selling to me would have worked, you know, would help me, you know, get custody of these visitation, whatnot you have it. But in the midst of that, you know, it was a fee for the program that he was advertising at the time. I spun around about, I want to say $1,100 I gave him. And I wrote a check. And I didn't pay attention to none of the red flags. You know, I mean, he called me. I talked to him over the phone. But I noticed when he started in his payment, you know, he started asking about the payment for the program. He had me write a check that I then cashed into an account, Wells Fargo. You know, I wrote out 2 checks to him, but where a red flag had jumped up that I can admit I just ignored, he had me deposit the money into a female's bank account, which I thought was strange, but I didn't think nothing about it because I really did believe in his ability to help me with a situation I was having, you know, in my personal life. So I just looked over a lot of the red flags that was there. And once I had deposited the check and all, you know, I got another call from him. We talked over the phone. I started asking questions about different things and concerns that I had. Plus I had a lawyer. So, you know, I was just using every option, every avenue I could use that I thought that would have been beneficial to my success in this court matter. But what I had learned probably a week into me communicating with him and actually releasing these funds to him in regards to this program that he was advertising at the time, he wasn't really able to help me, simply put, you know. I started asking questions, was noticing, you know, the conversation we were having from the jump, you know, none of that stuff was coming back. Paperwork that I thought he was going to, you know, send back to me, that he was telling me he was going to send back as a result of the money that I bought into the program with, paperwork never came. Conversation started getting short. And then it finally hit me. Basically, I had been scammed, you know.
It's fucked up. He a dirty motherfucker. And it's crazy because every time somebody come to him with it, this nigga holler about jealousy and hater. You know what I'm saying? They just hating on me because of what I got. But he never addresses the issues directly. He never addresses the issue at hand. Why are people not getting their books? He can't say that it's not true because they're showing evidence. They're showing the emails. They're showing all that shit. You can't say it's not true. Why aren't they getting their shit? Are you fucking serious? Nobody's, and to the debates. He contacts Brother Polight. You know, he makes a lot of money through his media off of Brother Polight.
Listen, this time I'm actually out, y'all. I gotta get back on the West Coast and play with my toys. Now I got Rolls Royce toys, Lamborghini. Let's go, mama. We out here. Where we traveling to now? We gotta travel. This is what we do. I'm with the road team. What's up? Got my man E with me. Stop my saying every day. Come on, speak that Creole. Poneme, Napule.